Hello and welcome back to another nugget, and today we're talking about more guitar composition stuff and more sources of inspiration from strange places. So the only thing that I want to talk about today is how one idea provided a real kind of inspirational launchpad for me, and it was, I'm a big Cardiacs fan, and someone in this place where I work had told me about a YouTube video that one of his friends had made. It was an analysis of Cardiacs music, and there was one thing in particular that caught my ear when I was watching this, and the channel is Tanta Cruel, so definitely check that out. And the guy's really interesting, really varied range of stuff, and it's all kind of music based and music theory based. The thing that he was talking about was the Cardiacs cadence. So the Cardiacs cadence, one instance of it would just be the first three chords on that top line. So the G to the B minor to the E. Or you could see it as a major flat 3 chord to a minor 5 chord to a major home chord, major 1 chord. So in this case, G, B minor and E. So that really kind of heroic sound, I guess. Also, it doesn't sound that anchored. I guess it does. That really feels like home, but you can play with it in ways that make it really not feel anchored, and that's what this guy's video was all about. His idea was that you could string it together so that the 1 chord becomes a new 3 chord every time, because they're both major chords. So when you do that, you get what's on the top line there, and you can see how the 3 and the 1 overlap, because you've got the 3 acting as the 1 chord, or the 1 acting as the 3 rather. So that would go like this: G to B minor to E to A flat minor to D flat to F minor to B flat to D minor, and then eventually comes back round, so you get this kind of sound. And it's got that thing of not feeling that anchored, and I thought, well, surely you can make it more ambiguous if every single chord is major, and I started playing about with that. And if you make every chord major, then you would end up with then I started playing about with inversions of these, because I wanted to have like nicer movement moving up the way. So you'd have not that, and then you could just keep repeating that in inversions. And so on, and to me that feels kind of less anchored still. But the G, when it comes back round to the G, you've came from there, so it feels like home. It's just a really long excursion, and I love stuff like this, stuff that's winding out of control and never quite centers itself. So I thought, why not try to construct some lines out of this, see if it lends itself nicely to riffs. So I started doing things like so that's me through one of those flat 3, 5, 1 progressions already. You've got root, 3rd, 5th of the G, then 3rd, root, 5th of the B, and then you're coming on to the E from the 3rd, 5th root, then onto the A flat, D flat, F, then you've got B flat, D, and then G. And that can just keep going and going as well. You can just find as many as you can for that. And because it takes so long to resolve, it just has this really nice effect of just, it seems like it's disappearing out of the stratosphere. So and so that made it into the thing that I was demoing. I also thought, well, that's a big spirally line. What if I want to have a section where I'm more bass focused, more riff focused? So I thought, right, why not just try and do a similar thing, but with chromaticisms? So the G's going. Now that's me onto the B because it's the third of the B. So my process when I'm thinking about this is root, third, sharp 4, just because I like Lydian sounds, and you get a completely chromatic run in this part when you move up to the B. So of the G, root, third, sharp 4, fifth, third of the B. Then that's the root of the B. A little chromatic passage into E. Treating it as Lydian again, sharp 4. And then that moves nicely into the third of the A flat. And then wind that round to the D flat. Third of the F, back to the root. That's the B flat. And then that's the third of the D. And a bit of repetition within the phrase as well. So altogether that's looking like. And then it would just repeat. So that made it in as a riff, and then keeping things going thematically, I added in some extra chords. I used that climbing chord progression but in fuller chord form, so there's kind of rhythms going like. But I also threw in some other stuff where I'm kind of chasing a melody. I'm just trying to whip through this just now because the point I want to make with this whole video is how one little thing of an idea lent itself to an entire demo, or an almost finished demo. I'll play it at the end and you can see with the demo drums and everything. But yeah, just added extra things in. I did a bit of kind of chasing a melody around, so I had one repetition of and then it moved into slow moving chords. So to get back to, and then there's a bit of, you'll hear it, a bit of metric modulation, 3s becoming 4s and things like that in the demo. But yeah, that's about as much as I want to show with that. The point is, you can find really cool stuff in the strangest of things that you find on YouTube that you might not initially think could become a song. Just explore it. That's what I urge anyone to do. So here it is. Here's how this thing works. So yeah, that's about as much of that material as I have at the moment. It's a work in progress, but the whole point again was just to show you that you can start with a fragment of an idea that's come from somewhere else, and it can multiply and blossom into a much bigger thing. Okay, stay tuned for more of these. Thanks again for watching.